हाँ, स्टार्ट करिए शिवन।
Good afternoon, one and all present for in research methodology organized by UGC MMTCT Jabalpur. I, Dr. Sivang Mehta, University Librarian of Vanita Vishra Women's University Surat. I'm thankful to Dr. Sanjeev Pandey, sir of MMTTC Jabalpur, for giving me an opportunity to attend this program and given me opportunity to welcome today's guest. In the very first session of our RC on RM, we have Dr. D.N. Sansanwal as our resource person. Dr. D.N. Sansanwal retired as the head and dean of the Faculty of Education, Devi Ahalya University, Indore. He holds MSc Physics and PhD in Education. His areas of specializations are research methodology, experimental design, advanced educational statistics, educational measurement and evaluation, education technology, science education, and information and communication technology. He invented JERT technology, multiple discriminatory type item, multiple answers type item, moral discussion model, and educational clinic. He taught business research methods and quantitative techniques in IIM Indore from 2004 to 2008. He also taught business research methods in Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, that is IIFT, New Delhi. He has published extensively in both Indian and foreign journals of repute. After retirement, he has conducted more than 180 workshops of 7 to 15 days on research methodology, statistics, and use of SPSS all over India. He has given 995 webinars lectures of 2 and 3 hours on different topics, including research methodology, statistics, and use of SPSS. Dr. Sasanwal was given the Best Teacher Educator Award by All India Association of Teacher Educators, India. Thank you, Dr. Sasanwal, for your knowledge you are giving to us for today's session. Over to you now, sir.
Thank you very much. भैया शेयर करने के लिए परमिशन दे दो।
ठीक है सर।
अच्छा, ओके। Okay, dear friends, my name is D.N. Sansanwal, and this is my email address dnsansanwal@email.com. At the outset, I'm grateful to MM-TTC Jabalpur, who has given me the opportunity to learn from the young researchers. I don't know whether I will be able to help you out or not, but you will definitely help me by giving new ideas, by giving new way of looking at the questions. So to start with, can I ask you the question? If you permit, then yes, otherwise, then I will tell you something else. Should I ask you the question? So that I know where you stand.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, so then I'm asking a question. Here is a question. I hope you can see it. Is it possible? Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So you can write your answers in the chat box. Then I will see it. I've got reply from one participant out of 90. Six participants have given the response. Ten participants have given the response. Eighteen participants, 19, 20 participants have given the response. At least I need response from 1/3 of the people. Okay, I have got the reply. Thank you very much. Let us have another question. This is another question. You can give the reply. Which of the following is or not? You have to concentrate on the word not. Not the correct name or names of step of research. Eight participants have responded. 12. 15 people have responded. 24 people have responded. 28 participants have responded. Thirty-five, 36 participants have responded. Out of 90, 41 participants have responded. Okay, now do you want the correct answer of these questions?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
Yes, sir,
So,
definitely.
all right. So I am giving you the correct answer. The first question was which of the following is are variable or variables? Content of research methodology is a variable. Why? Because there are different chapters and in different chapter different information is given. So information varies. So it is a variable. Social problems is a variable because each one of us will not have the same social problem. The same person may not have same social problem every time. So it is a variable. Urban teacher is not a variable. If I would have written locale of teacher or residential background, then it would have become a variable. Hemoglobin is a variable. Female science teacher not a variable. Anxiety is a variable. Discussion method is not a variable. Methods of teaching would have been the variable. Achievement in physics is variable. Government school is not variable. Types of school would have been if I would have written types of school, that would have been the variable. Teaching experience is variable. Types of universities is variable. 75% marks in Hindi, not a variable. Cost of fruits is a variable. Subjects is a variable because there are different subjects like physics, chemistry, mathematics. So it's a variable. Red color is not a variable. Reading comprehension is a variable. Average intelligence is not variable. If I would have written intelligence, then that would have been the variable. Type of pollution is a variable. Baleno car is not a variable. If I would have written types of car, then that would have been the variable. Long answer, type item, not a variable. 28 degrees Celsius temperature, not a variable. Blood count is the variable. Methods of variability, validity, the variable. These are the correct answers of the first question. If you have got these as your correct answer, then you are very clear about the concept of variable. Else, you need to understand what is a variable. Because without variable, you will not be able to proceed with the research because it requires variable. The second question here is, which of the following is or not the correct name or names of step of research? Identification of problem is the correct name. Defining the problem, not the correct name. Selecting place of data collection, not correct name. And thinking about hypothesis, not correct name. Data collection is the correct name. Deciding the time of data collection, not the correct name. Conclusion is the correct name. Selection of problem, not the correct name. Selection of guide, not the correct name. Selection of variable, not the correct name. Selection of university for doing research, not the correct name. Purchasing research methodology book, not the correct name. Reading papers from the journal, not the correct name. And data analysis is the correct name. So data analysis is the correct name. So this is the answer which you should have given. And if you have given these as the answers, then you know the steps of research. Else, you do not know the steps of research. Now, depend on the basis of your responses, tell me from where should I begin? Should I begin from A, B, C, D, or should I begin from some other topic? Please tell me. Please tell me, should I begin from A, B, C, D, or should I begin from some other topic?
So please start from the beginning, sir.
We can start from ABCD.
ABCD.
Okay. If you want from the beginning, then we start from the beginning. Say the beginning is, what is research? If you see this particular word, you can split into two words. One is other is search. Research. What do we search? We search what we want and we do not get it. What do research? Research is what we want and we do not get it. And I search from here, there, still I do not get. For example, I keep my car key at one particular place. And whenever I need car, I go to that place to take the key and it is available. So I'm not going to research because I search and I found it. Now, if I try to go to the place where I keep the car key and I find car key is not there, then naturally I have to search. I go to one room, search. I go to another room, search. I ask my family members, search. That is what is research. So what do we research? What we need and we do not get it. Now, I take another example. Suppose I am not well. I go to the doctor. Doctor examines me. And after examining, doctor writes a prescription. I take prescription to the one chemist. He looks at it and he gives me the medicine. So I'm not going to research now because I have got it. But once I was not well, went to doctor, doctor wrote the prescription. I took it to one chemist and he looked at the prescription and he said, sorry, I do not have. Now I have to go to next chemist. I did the same. He also said, I'm sorry, I don't have. I go to the next. This is called researching. I keep on doing till I get my medicine. Now, another example. In the pandemic, all over the world, it is the same problem. Every human being on this particular planet belonging to any country whatsoever were having the same problem. But there was no solution of that particular problem. So the pharmaceutical people and scientists started doing research because they wanted to find solution of this particular problem. So therefore there was a problem and there was no solution of this particular problem. I request all my participants, please keep muting yourself. If you have to talk, you mute and then you can talk, no problem. But you can unmute whenever you want to ask a question or you want to answer my question. But after that, immediately you mute it. It is my humble request to every participant. So therefore, I have this. So I have the problem. So we have to have a problem. Because if we do not have any problem, then there is no need of doing any research or no need of finding the solution because there is no problem. So if there is no problem, then it's not. Selection of guide is not my dear friend, it is not the step of research. That is the regulation, otherwise you can do research without guide. It is not compulsory that you have to have a guide. So guide is not the step of research. So you have to have a problem. And once you have a problem, then my dear friend, you can now Shiv Bahadur Tiwari, selection of guide is not a step of research. It is only the requirement of the university. Otherwise, you can do research without any guide. It is not compulsory that you have to have a guide. When you take up the project from the UGC or ICSSR or CSIR or DST, you do research without any guide. There is no need of a guide. So guide is just a, requirement of the university because the student may not be expert in research, so therefore he needs some help. So it is not a step at all. So once you have selected a problem, then for the problem, there has to be a solution. Now, if you have a problem and you proceed with it, then my dear friend, you, in order to get the solution, you have to do some activities. For example, if I'm not well, this is the problem. I go to the doctor. This is one activity. Doctor examines me, another activity. Doctor writes the prescription, another activity. He hands over prescription to me, another activity. I take the prescription to the chemist, another act. So many activities have to be done. So if you have a problem and you want to reach to the solution, you have to do activities. These activities you cannot do in any sequence you like. I cannot go to the chemist first because I have to have a prescription from the doctor. And doctor cannot write prescription without examining me. So all these are in a particular sequence. So when you do these activities in a sequence, it is called systematic. In social science, we prefer to use the word systematic, but in science, the people like to use scientific. So you carry out activities in a particular sequence, and when you are carrying out activities in a particular sequence, we call it a process. So research is a process. Like you take bath in the morning, taking bath is a process. You know what do you do first, what do you do second, what do you do third. You do those things in that particular sequence. When you prepare tea in the morning or someone prepares the tea or coffee, preparation of tea or coffee is a process. When our sister and mothers or wife prepare chapati, preparation of chapati is a process because they have to do different activities in a particular sequence. In the morning, when you brush your teeth, so brushing teeth is a process. So these are the 5 words which you must use in one sentence, then that sentence will become the definition of research. And that will be the general definition of research. So I request you, please write down the definition of research using these 5 words, and you can put it in the chat box. I will see it.
प्लीज एक बार दोबारा रिपीट करना सर प्लीज।
ये आपको ये 5 शब्दों को यूज करना है एक वाक्य में, जो शोध की परिभाषा हो जाएगी। आप वो परिभाषा लिखिए और मुझे शेयर कीजिए, मैं देख लूंगा।
जी सर।
देखिए जी, एक ने लिखा है रिसर्च इज ए प्रोसेस इन विच वी फाइंड whenever we write a definition, this definition is objective. And if it is objective, we cannot use the word I, we, he, she. We can't use it because then it becomes subjective. So this is not okay. Then research is a process of finding solution of a problem by following certain activities in systematic or scientific manner. Now here, okay, this is not 100% correct, but it's all right, better. So one participant has written, the scientific approach to reach to the solution of a problem through process of carrying various activities. No, here systematic word hasn't come. So it's not. Scientific approach to reach the solution of a problem through process by carrying various activities. Okay, it's not all right. Research is a systematic activity. There is nothing like systematic activities. Activities are carried out systematically. So this is not all right. Research is systematic and scientific process. What you do in the process may be systematic or may not be systematic. So you cannot write scientific process or systematic process. No, that's not all right. So these definitions, thank you very much for sharing the definitions, but these definitions need correction. So I will write and then you see it. Now here, research refers to a process. Because when you do research, it is a process. When you drive car, driving car is a process. When doctor gives injection to the patient, giving injection is a process. So research refers to a process wherein activities are carried out systematically, or you can use the word scientifically, to find solution of the problem. Now here all the 5 words are here. This is the process. Here is activities. Here is systematic or scientific. And here is solution. And here is the problem. Now this is the general definition of research. Now in this definition, please note carefully, I have written the problem, but I have not written the solution. Why? Because one problem can have multiple solutions. You know, whenever the people have fever, so they have many medicines. They can take crocin, they can take any paracetamol, they can take Novalgine, etc., etc. So the problem is one, but solution may be many. But in one research, when you take one problem, you come across one and only one solution. I repeat, in one research, when we take one problem, we come across one and only one solution. In the same research, no researcher can have more than one solution of one problem. This is important, my dear friends. So this is the general definition of research. Now let us change this particular definition so that it becomes definition of research in economics. So research in economics refers to a process wherein activities are carried out systematically, because economics people may not like to use the word scientific, but those who are interested, they can use either the word systematic or scientific, but you cannot use both the words. So carried out systematically to find solution of problem related to some aspect of economics. The problem must be related to some aspect of economics. So I have modified the general definition in such a way so that it becomes the definition of research in economics. Now, if you want to write research in physics, refers to a process wherein activities are carried out. In physics, they do not want to use the word systematic, they use the word scientific, carried out scientifically to find solution of the problem related to some aspect of physics. So this is how the general definition can be modified so that it becomes definition in a particular subject. If you want research in Hindi, then you can define research in Hindi refers to a process wherein activities are carried out systematically to find solution of problem related to some aspect of Hindi. So I have given you three definitions of research, and these are research in economics, research in physics, research in Hindi. Do you want the definition of research in any other subject? If yes, write your subject, I will tell you the definition. Or otherwise, you can modify the general definition so that it becomes definition in your area. Political science, Sanskrit. Okay, let me write Sanskrit. In place of Hindi, you write Sanskrit, that's all. Research in Sanskrit refers to a process wherein activities are carried out systematically to find solution of the problem related to some aspect of Sanskrit. If you want political science, you can write research in political science refers to a process wherein activities are carried out systematically. In political science also, they prefer to use the word systematic, to systematically to find solution of problem related to some aspect of political science. So let us see whether any other person wants philosophy, anthropology. Okay. So if you want philosophy, then research in philosophy refers to a process wherein activities are carried out systematically. In some of the university, in the philosophy, they write sometime the word scientific. That up to you, systematically to find solution of problem related to some aspect of philosophy. If you want anthropology, okay, physical education, anthropology, no problem. Research in education refers to a process wherein activities are carried out systematically to find solution of problem related to some aspect of education. If you want physical education, so you can write that research in physical education refers to a process wherein activities are carried out systematically to find solution of problem related to some aspect of physical education. So this is how you can modify any one. No, there is no discipline where this definition will change. Abhinav, no, there is no discipline at all. Because whenever you do research, then these are the important words which must be there. If you want geography, then I can write geography, no problem. So research in geography. In some of the universities in West Bengal, geography is a part of science. And if it is a part of science, then they will be using the word scientific instead of systematic. But in most of the universities, the geography is a part of the social sciences or arts. So therefore, you can use the word systematic. Research in geography refers to a process wherein activities are carried out systematically. I'm writing scientific also, but you cannot use both words. That is why I have said slash. Slash means either this or this. To find solution of problem related to some aspect of geography. Okay, let me see any other subject they want. Okay, sociology, no problem. So if you want sociology, refers to a process wherein activities are carried out systematically to find solution of the problem related to some aspect of sociology. See, whatever is the subject in which you want to do a research, you have to take problem related to that aspect on that discipline only. So therefore, I hope it is all right now. Commerce, all right. So research in commerce refers to a process wherein activities are carried out systematically to find solution of the problem related to some aspect of commerce. It may be any aspect. It may be finance, it may be ICT, it may be anyone, no problem at all. Botany, all right. Research in botany refers to a process wherein activities are carried out. In botany, we use the word scientific. Carried out scientifically to find solution of the problem related to some aspect of botany. So this is how you can define research in botany. Fine arts, statistics, all right. Say research in statistics. Research in fine arts refers to a process wherein activities are carried out systematically to find solution of the problem related to some aspect of fine arts. In statistics, so research in statistics refers to a process wherein activities are carried out. In statistics, we don't use the word systematic, we use the word scientifically. To find solution of the problem related to some aspect of statistics. So this is how you can write the mass communication, no problem. Mass communication, okay, fine. So mass communication will be research in mass communication refers to a process wherein activities are carried out. In mass communication, most of the people will be using the word systematic. But if you want to use the word scientific, you can use carried out systematically to, or if you want, you can use the word scientific. Carried out scientifically to find solution of the problem related to some aspect of mass communication. I hope now you are able to understand how you can define the research in your own area. Any other participant like want me to write the definition, please let me know. Otherwise, I go to the next step.
Sir, you may proceed for the next step. Thank you.
All right. Now I'm going to the another one. So I have given you the general definition of research. And then I modified the general definition so that it becomes definition of research in other subjects. Going to the characteristics. Now, these are the characteristics of research. You can do research in any subject. The characteristics will remain the same because these are the characteristics of the research, but not the characteristics of research in a particular area. Whatever the area, it doesn't matter. So I give you the characteristics, and for characteristics, I will be using these 5 words because these 5 words are essential. So one of the characteristic research refers to a problem. So this is the one characteristic of research. The another characteristic of research is research involves activities. And the third is research is systematic or scientific. The fourth characteristic is research is a process. And the fifth characteristic is research leads to a solution. Now, these are the essential characteristics of the research. In many books, you will find people are writing different words, but they may not be essential, or they might be explaining the same technical word by using different English word or Hindi words. That should not confuse you unnecessarily. So these are the 5 characteristics because each characteristic is essential. What is essential? Essential is, when we define noun in the books, the definition you will find is the name of person, place, or thing is called noun. Now, this is not the technically correct. Why? Because what is noun? Name. So, name is noun, or names are noun. That's all. It has to be a name, whether name of a person, name of a place, name of an article, or name of anything. So name is the noun. That's all. That is so essential is name. So when you teach a concept and you take only the essential aspect of that concept and you start teaching, students will appreciate your teaching and will understand the concept because they have understood the essential aspect. So always try to find what is essential. Anything which is not essential should not be part and parcel of the definition. So this is important. I hope you have understood the general definition, how to mold it, and then the characteristics of research. Any question, any participant like to ask? Then I proceed further. Any question, any participant like to ask?
सर फिलोसॉफी के संदर्भ में बताइए।
बता तो दिया ना। जो फिलॉसफी के डिफरेंट एस्पेक्ट है उससे रिलेटेड आपको प्रॉब्लम लेनी है
जी
और
जी
उसको एक सिस्टेमेटिक तरीके से उसको करना है। वो तो मैंने फिलॉसफी के डेफिनेशन बताई तो है। ये बॉटनी है, ये कॉमर्स है, ये सोशियोलॉजी है, ये ज्योग्राफी है, ये फिजिकल एजुकेशन है। चलो मैं लिख देता हूँ फिलॉसफी, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है।
साइकोलॉजी के संदर्भ में।
मैडम साइकोलॉजी में भी द सेम, द डेफिनेशन, you want the definition in psychology, research in psychology? Do you want definition in research in psychology?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, the definition is like that. Let me give first the definition of research in philosophy because one participant wanted. So research in philosophy refers to a process wherein activities are carried out systematically.
यस सर, यस सिस्टमेटिकली।
Find solution of the problem related to some aspect of philosophy. It may be any philosopher or anything. Now, if you want research in psychology, refers to a process wherein activities are carried out. People prefer to use the word systematic, so systematically to find solution of the problem related to some aspect of psychology. So therefore, you can write and the characteristics will remain the same. Whatever is the subject, whenever you do research, you have to have a problem, you have to do activities, and you have to do activities in systematic manner or scientific, and you will get a solution and it is a process. So these are everywhere. Do I proceed further?
Sir, here I want to ask you one question, sir. I want to clarify one point.
Go ahead.
May I, sir?
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, you have said that problem is generally one and solutions are many.
Yes.
And at the same time, you also said that we generally tend to find one particular solution. So will you please elaborate this point?
No, you have not listened carefully. Listen again. For one
Yes, sir.
particular problem, there may be many solutions. This is one sentence which I said. Then second I said, in one research, as a researcher, I only take one problem. I proceed further, I will get one and only one solution. But if I take the same problem again,
Okay.
I may get the same solution which I got earlier, or I may get a new solution. That's what I said. I didn't say anything more than that.
Yes, you said, sir. I could not understand.
No problem, sir. You have a right to seek clarification, no problem. Okay,
sir.
any other question? Then I proceed further.
You may please proceed further. Thank you.
All right. Now, I do not want to discuss, but let me give you difference between discovery and invention. You may think about it. If you want to give me the answer, you are welcome. Otherwise, I proceed further. Any one of you like to give your mind as what can be the difference between discovery and invention.
May I?
Yes, please go ahead. Neha, go ahead.
Discovery. Discovery is basically related to the thing is already present, but we have to find it. And invention, on the other hand, we have to develop the thing. It's not there. We have to make it from
Correct.
scratch.
Correct. Perfectly correct. Dr. Neha, what is the another difference? Very good. What is the other difference?
I know this one only.
No. You know others also. Just think and you'll get the answer.
Sir, Neha ma'am has.
Please go. Go ahead, Kusum. Dr. Kusum.
Sir, namaste. Sir, Neha ma'am has already, clarified the concept, the difference between discovery and invention. So we can think many other points.
No, I have not discussed.
Sir,
I
may
have-
I? Dr.
I
Bharti
have
from
asked the question. Only one difference she has given. And
Sir,
there are
thi-
many
this-
differences. I don't want to
this-
give you. I want you to think about it. You to explore the different sources and see you do get all answers.
Sir, discovery is probably random in nature, whereas when we talk about invention, it is more after a systematic process.
Yes, correct. Absolutely correct. So this is the another difference. What is the other difference? Very good. What is the other difference? So you
I
think
think,
about, please go ahead.
Sir, I think discovery is about, uh, human knowledge, which was hitherto unknown. Whereas invention would be like something existed uh, and human beings invented. But discovery is something very, very intangible to my understanding. But invention is something very tangible.
No,
Let me try, sir.
Rashid, think again.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please go ahead.
Invention comes only when there is a problem, sir.
Okay.
Only when there is a problem, one person wants to find a solution, and then invention comes.
Okay.
But discovery can be maybe by chance also, sir. Discovery can be met by chance also.
Yes, very good. This is the third difference.
Hello.
What is the fourth difference?
So discovery is something that is already there.
Yes, this has already been done. Rajendra,
Done.
no, this particular point has come. Think about the new point, the fourth point.
Sir, what I'm
Yes,
trying
go
to
ahead.
say, sir, what I'm trying to say is that when I say intangible, in the sense that, discovery is all about observation, right? But whereas invention needs some sort of experimentation.
No, my dear friend, in experimentation, observation is there. Experimentation cannot happen without observation. And discovery is not observation. Think once again. Very good. Nice. So we have got the three differences between discovery and invention. I don't want to add. You come up with new answers tomorrow whenever we meet. So I think that will be quite all right. Srinivas, think again. No, both things add to the knowledge. Think again, keep thinking. Now I'm going to the next one. The next I'm going to take I'll tell you the types of types of research. So let me give you the types. So I will write the serial number and then I will write the type and I will give you the base also. The criteria or base. You can say base or you can say or criterion. Base or criterion of differentiation. Now I'm asking you here, types of data. Can any one of you tell me types of data? Can you name the types of data?
Qualitative data, quantitative data.
Okay. Any other?
Primary data, secondary data,
Okay.
tertiary
Any other?
data.
Okay. Any other? My dear friend, primary and secondary are not the data, they are the sources. And some of the Indian writers have given wrong information in their books. Primary is a source. It is not a data. When I am talking, I am primary source for you to give this information. You can quote, you can give my name and say, he said like this. So I am the primary source. And when I am giving you the information, I may give information which is qualitative in nature or quantitative in nature. So one of the participants rightly said that the types of the data are two. One is called qualitative data and another called quantitative data. So you can say the research will be of two types. One will be the qualitative research and another is called the quantitative research. And here the base or the criterion of differentiation is type of data, or you can say information. If the type of information is quantitative in nature, if I ask your age, it is quantitative. If you ask my age, I will give you my age, it is quantitative. You take your body temperature, it is quantitative. You ask what problems you have at home, it will be qualitative. So therefore, it is either the qualitative information or the quantitative information. You cannot have any other. So let me just change a little bit font size of this so that it comes quite okay here. I hope you can see this particular one. Is it all right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So if the base is type of data, then your research will be of two types. One is a qualitative research, other is a quantitative research. In Hindi, in English, in Sanskrit, we can do qualitative research, and if need be, we can also do quantitative research. Because when you are teaching and you have the achievement scores in Hindi of the students, and you can compare the performance of male students with a female student and find out whose achievement is better. So you have a quantitative data. You have a qualitative data also. So when it comes to the reading comprehension, Hindi reading comprehension, Sanskrit reading, it's all quantitative data. So therefore, you can have the qualitative information as well as quantitative information. Say in the examination, when there is a question and when the students write answer, the question is qualitative, and answer is also qualitative. And the teacher checks the answer in the light of the question, and the teacher may give 6 marks out of 10. So the teacher is converting the qualitative information into quantitative. So qualitative information, if you like, can be converted into quantitative. But from quantitative, you cannot get back the original quality. If I ask the same examiner who has given 6 marks in the answer of this question, if I ask him, can you reproduce the same answer in which you have given 6 marks? I'm sure all of you will agree with me that the examiner cannot verbatim reproduce the same answer, but he can write another answer of the same question in which 6 marks might be given. And some of the information which he has given in the answer may be the same as he saw in the answer of that candidate in which he gave 6 marks. So this particular example illustrates that from quantitative information, we cannot get original quality. No. So therefore, whenever you convert a qualitative information into quantitative, there is some loss of information, and we cannot find out what we have lost in the process. If there are science participants, to the science people, I tell you that whenever the electricity is coming to our places from the point of their generation, the original point from where it gets generated, by the time it comes to our places, there are a lot of losses. And you might have seen in the last many years, the overhead wires have been replaced by underground wires. You might be wondering why they are replacing the overhead wires with the underground wires. It is to minimize the loss of electricity. That is the purpose. So therefore, when you do a research, and if you get the qualitative information, my suggestion is proceed with the qualitative information. Never think of converting it to quantitative. But if you get quantitative information, you cannot convert it into qualitative. No chance. No methodology, no procedure. You cannot convert it. You can interpret it. Interpretation is not conversion. So therefore, if you have the qualitative research and quantitative research, then the base of differentiation or criterion of differentiation is type of data or information. Now we can think of another way to look at it. And another way to look at it, that if you want to study the vision of any person, see, Mahatma Gandhi had a vision for India, and the vision was that we must have independence. So this idea, it would not have come into the mind of Mahatma Gandhi, I do not know whether by now we would have got freedom or not. So the idea which came into the mind of Mahatma Gandhi, on the basis of that idea, he proceeded further. So that idea was the vision of Mahatma Gandhi. Now, Vivekananda had his own idea about values. You know, one of his lecture which he gave in US. It is very, very, very famous. Dr. Seni, may I request you to mute yourself, please?
Yes, sir. Yes.
हाँ, कोई बात नहीं. Because in your room, many people are there and they are discussing. Thank you very much, Seni Saab. Thank you very much. So therefore, the Vivekanand, when he gave that lecture in US, it is still remembered by people there. Because he had his own ideas about the values. Now, whenever there are elections, each political party comes up with a manifesto. And this manifesto gives an idea. If this party wins the election, what this party is going to do for the general people. Earlier, I never heard and saw any political party giving assurance to the people that you will get this much money every month. But of late, the political parties have started. They have started saying, we will pay you 1,000 rupees per month. Someone is saying, if we come to the power, we pay you 2,000 rupees. I don't know why they are distributing the exchequer's money like this. Why can't they create some job for them and then pay it? Anyway, so that becomes the vision. So when the political party, they comes out with a manifesto, this manifesto is nothing but their vision. Now each one of the participant, each one of you have your vision. When you were in class 11th, you might have selected either science or commerce or arts. Those people who selected science, they might have selected biology or they might have selected PCM. Those who selected PCM, they might be thinking of becoming engineer. Those who selected the this biology, they might have thought of becoming a doctor. Now, when the class 12th result came, it's quite possible they might have changed their direction because they might not have got good marks and the people from the science might have gone to BSc or people from biology might have also gone to BSc or something like that. So that is the vision. So vision means the philosophy. So it is the philosophical research. Now, if you want to study anything which has already passed, then past situations or past events, when you want to study, it is a historical research. Now, when the pandemic started, the whole world knows that the source of this pandemic was China. But you might have heard that in the whole process, this particular idea had gone. Many teams had visited and they could not find the evidence which could have led them to say that this virus originated from China. Otherwise, everyone knows, China also knows that the virus was from their own labs. Anyway, now it has become a history. So people will be talking about this pandemic. And I heard in my life, I'm 79 years old, and in my life, this is the first time I saw this type of Mahamari, the pandemic. I never saw it. And now we might be telling to our children that there was a year in which this type of pandemic was there, and so on and so forth. So it is a history. Now, if you want to study anything in the present context, if I want a house, I want to purchase a house. So wherever I am, I will try to go to some agent and will try to ask whether there are some houses which you can show me, and then I can decide which one to buy it. So we will be doing the survey. We will go see places, see the society, see the house, see the other facilities available in that particular one. So that is a survey. Now, whenever, if you want to purchase a car, so whichever city you belong, then whatever the vendors are available, you might go to different vendors and see the type of a car which are available, and you may also have a test ride yourself so that you know how the car works and things of that variety. So when you study anything in the present context, it has to be survey research. Now, survey research can be of different type. ONGC, Oil and Natural Gas Commission, they keep on going to different places and try to find out whether the petrol is available there or not, or gas is available or there or not. Now, the Geological Survey of India, their job is to go from different places and try to search and find out what the old, civilization things are available there. And you might have seen that many a times the archaeology people from their survey, they say this was the type of the utensil which people were using. These were the types of the houses in which they were living, and things of that variety. So therefore, you can do a survey which is called exploratory survey. It is exploratory survey research. Another is, say, whenever you go to see Qutub Minar, and when you come back home, your family people will be asking about the Qutub Minar. So you will be describing the Qutub Minar. You will tell them what is the height of the Qutub Minar, a quantitative information. You may tell me in which year it was built, another type of quantitative for what purpose it was built, the qualitative information. So you can describe the Qutub Minar. And you can describe only and only if you have a first-hand experience. If you have read from the book, then you will not be able to describe. You will be able to give only the information which is given in that particular book. If you read another book on which the same is written, the about Qutub Minar is written, you may find some other information. So therefore, you do the descriptive survey. So it is called descriptive survey research. And descriptive survey, when you are describing, you can use quantitative information and you can use qualitative information. But important is, if you do not have first-hand experience, you will not be able to describe. If you want to study any tribe, then you cannot study from a distance. You have to be part and parcel of the tribe, go stay with them for years together. Then and only then you will be able to describe their, how do they live, what festival do they celebrate, how do they celebrate, what do they do the whole day, what type of food do they eat, whenever they are not well, then how do they treat themselves, etc., etc. Now, you might have heard about Piaget. Piaget was a psychologist and he wanted to study the stages of human development. That when the child is born, then when he develops, then how he acquires some of the habits or some of the behaviors. He studied, and therefore he gave different stages of development. And he said from birth to this is the first stage and second and third and things of that variety. If he would not have been part and parcel of the whole process, then it would not be possible for him to describe. So you can describe only and only if you are part and parcel. If you have not taken food in a particular hotel, you will not be able to speak about the quality of the food, the taste of the food, etc. of that hotel. You will say, I'm sorry, I have never been to that hotel, so I cannot tell you anything about it. But if you have gone to a particular hotel, then you'll say, yes, it's a good hotel. I find it to be good and like this and this, because you have the first-hand experience. So if you want to describe, you have to have the first-hand experience. Then there is, dear friend, there is one word called relationship. And there are two general words. Can you tell me what can be the two general words for the relationship? Any one of you tell me what can be the two general words for the relationship? I'm still waiting for your answer. No. There are two general words for
Sir, one
relationship.
could be connection, one could be association, one could be
No. Okay. The
link.
Dependency.
No. Relationship is a general word, and these are the technical words which I give you. One is called correlation, and another is called association. association and correlation are the technical word which you should use in research. You know, when you look at my hair, the color of the hair, what came to your mind?
Wise
What
person.
what came to your mind?
Sir, it shows the experience of your life, like for me.
Kusum, that is a mild way of saying that you are a old man.
The color of your hair showing the
No,
age.
no, Kusum, you are
I think
very
your color is gray. The color of your hair is gray. That's it.
no, but these color do depict something. In India, whenever
Yeah.
you look at the gray hair, normally we try to associate it with the age.
Normally, yes, sir. But these days it doesn't matter. Everyone
Yes, I
having
agree.
gray hair.
Yadav, I agree with you. But what I'm saying is, in India, whenever you look at the person and if he is with the gray hair, normally the age comes to your mind. But
That's a kind of a stereotype, sir.
yes, I agree with you. But that stereo is there in our culture. Now, any lady who has put on a Mangal Sutra, what comes to your mind?
She is married.
She is married. But another lady who has not put on the Mangal Sutra,
Sir, I think the
then
society
then
has changed now, and
then you cannot say she is not married.
yes, sir, I do agree.
This is
That's
association.
modern.
This is association because in some culture, the ladies do not put on Mangal Sutra at all when they get married. But in some culture, the answer is yes. So these are the examples of association. And it is very much culture based. In our society, we have this type of thing, but if you go outside India, you don't find these type of associations. Anyway, correlation. See, whenever the two families, one the girl family or the boy family, if their family they want their boy and the girl to get married, then normally the Janam Patri or horoscope is shown to the Pandit. What Pandit does? Pandit try to find out the commonness between the girl and the boy. The more the commonness, the better the match. Less the commonness, that means the match is not okay and they may break any time. So therefore, that the correlation means commonness. Now all people, those who have joined this particular webinar, they have something in common. There are some 96 people. So they have something in common. And if that commonness would not have been there, you would not have been the part and parcel of this particular webinar. So that commonness is very, very important. So therefore, when we say the correlation, we are interested in finding out the commonness. And therefore, the another type of survey is called correlational survey. According to me, it should have been relationship survey. Because association also we try to study many a times. So in the books it is written correlational survey. Now, if you want to study something in the future content, then what type of research can it be? Whose finding can be used after it has been completed? Can any one of you think? No,
experimental research, sir.
100% correct. Because it is the experimental research whose findings will be used by the people after it has been successfully completed. Now, in this pandemic, the injection which each one of us have taken, that injection is the outcome of experimental research. And if experimental research would not have given us the favorable finding, then we would not have got that injection. So anything for future will be experimental. And another is, can I take 1 minute to complete? Do you want to have a break or can I take 2 minutes quickly?
Sir, you can take 2 minutes.
You can continue,
Okay.
sir.
Now, specific means some particular. If you want to do the study of some particular, say for example, in the UPSC 2024, the person from Lucknow, he topped it. And he has got posting in UP only. He belongs to UP and he has got a posting also in UP. So you can do the case study of this particular person because he must be having some special quality because of which he topped in the UPSC exam. So therefore, when you study something very specific, you call it a case study. Now, I hope you know that in South, in Andhra, there is a village and all people, right from child to the adults, everyone speak in Sanskrit. So here is a village has got peculiar characteristic which no other village in the country is of this type. So we can do the case study of this particular one. So now when you do the philosophical research, it is 100% qualitative. When you do historical research, it is more qualitative, but there may be some quantity also. In survey, you have both qualitative and quantitative. In experimental, more quantitative, no qualitative. Survey, you have both. So you can see, you can differentiate them. Methodology, or you can say the steps followed. So if methodology is the criterion or base, then your type of research will be philosophical research, historical, survey, experimental, and case study. So we can have a break. So you want to have half an hour break, 1 hour break, and how much break do you want?
Minimum, sir, half an hour.
You want half an hour?
आपकी श्रद्धा है sir.
Okay, Kusum, you can come after half an hour. I will come after 15 minutes.
Okay, sir, I will also come after 15 minutes.
No, you can have half an hour. 1 hour also, Kusum, you can have. No problem.
Thank you, sir. So sweet of you.
Oh, all right. Bye. So we meet after 15 minutes.
Okay, sir.
So at 3:45 we will meet.
आपका ठीक है और उसको टीम का और फिर सुबह उसको ये यहाँ इसके बाद रखी थी उसका डबल करके इसको भी बंद कर देंगे।
Okay, dear participants, let us start. So, before the break, I was talking about the types of research. And I gave you that if type of data or type of information is the base or is the criterion, then your type of research will be qualitative and quantitative. Now, if methodology or steps are followed is the base or the criterion, then our research will be philosophical research, historical, survey, experimental, and case study. Now, if I change the criterion, then my research will be basic research, or it is called fundamental research, or it is called the theoretical research. And another will be the experimental research. Experimental, or you can say applied research. And another one is called action research. Now, your theoretical research is 100% the qualitative in nature. Your experimental research and action researches are 100% quantitative in nature. Now, if my base is type of data, then my research will be qualitative and quantitative. If my base is methodology or step followed, then types of research will be philosophical research, historical research, survey research, experimental research, and case study research. Now, if my researches are theoretical research, experimental research, and action research, then what can be the base of classifying researches as theoretical, experimental, and action? Any participant like to answer? So what is the base? On which base do we classify researches as theoretical, experimental, and action? No, Pranita, that's not. No, Preeti, data collection will be everywhere. No, data collection is not the base. So now the question I'm asking you, and if you want, you can give me the answer right now, or if you want, you can take time and you can give me the answer. The question is, no. KP, no, that's not the correct answer. Model and framework, no, that's not the answer. So here, on what base? Theoretical, on what base? Theoretical, experimental, and action. Research be differentiated. So that is the so on what base? Theoretical, experimental, and action. Researches are differentiated. That is the one question. Another question is that I told you that when you do activities, you must do in a systematic manner or scientific manner. So how will you know whether activities are being carried out systematically or scientifically? Or what is the base of knowing whether activities are carried out systematically or scientifically? So that's what you should try to find out. No, it's not systematic. Process is not the base. No, core, that's not the correct answer. So how will you know that activities are carried out systematically or scientifically? This is the another question which if you like, you can answer right now, or if you want to take overnight, you can take the time and then you can tell me by tomorrow. Absolutely no problem. No, qualitatively, systematically, no. No, dear friends, you are sending your answers. You should send the question number 1 or question number 2. These are not the correct answers. No, it is experimental, no. All right, now we go to the next. And next is, I told you that research is a process. If it is a process, then there must be steps. So let us go to the steps of research. Can any one of you tell me what can be the first step of research?
So choose the problem.
Identification of the problem.
Okay. Yes, Dr. Neha, go ahead.
Sir, I was saying identification of the problem is the first step to start of the process.
That's correct. That's correct, Neha. Can you tell me, okay, let me ask question, then I'll come back to you. So the first step is identification of problem. Now in this particular one, there is one technical word, other is a general word. The technical word is identification. Now there is another word called selection. Now, do you think identification is broader and selection is a part of it? Or do you think selection is broader and identification is a part of it? Or do you think both are different? Over to you.
I think identification is basically first finding out where the gap is. Once we have identified many, if there are suppose 10 gaps that we have identified, then we have to select out of those 10 on which one are we supposed to work. So identification in that sense becomes broader.
Dr. Neha, you have got 100 out of 100. Excellent. Excellent. Which your subject?
I am from statistics background.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So you do quantitative or data experimental designs, or what type of research you do in statistics?
Experimental designs. I have done my PhD
Okay.
in designs of experiments. That was one of your fields of expertise as well. I heard in introduction, experimental design.
Oh, I see. Were you there?
No. I was not there while you were being introduced here as the resource person in your introduction.
Okay.
It was mentioned that you
Oh,
have your
okay.
expertise in
Yes.
experimental design. Yes.
Yes. I have experimental somehow. May not be as expert as you are.
No, sir, we are here to learn from you.
No, that's okay, fine. But Neha, excellent. So, my dear friend,
Thank you, sir.
Neha, can you take one example from daily life to illustrate the difference between identification and selection?
Identification and selection. Okay, I'll give a very basic example. So if I have to get my child ready for school and it's already 6 o'clock and she has to leave at 6:30, then I have, say, suppose 10 things that need to be taken care of before she leaves. So if there is something which is unimportant, I'll first try to identify it and then leave it. And then focus all my attention on a particular problem that needs to be addressed first before she leaves for school. Very basic example. So I have identified and then I have sorted and classified and then selected a problem that majorly needs my attention rather than focusing on all the problems that need to be taken care of.
Correct. Thank you. Okay. Any other
Thank you, sir.
participant like to tell me the difference between identification and selection by taking one example from daily life? Any participant like to come? And I'm grateful to Neha, who has opted to give me the answer to the two questions, and our both answers were correct. So any other participant like to take one example where you say this is called identification and selection, then you say this is what is called selection.
जी
Any
सर
party? Please go ahead. Rani, please go ahead.
जी सर सर जैसे कि हम लोग शिक्षक हैं और हम क्लास में जाकर अपना लेक्चर नियमित रूप से दिया करते हैं, तो यदि हम कक्षा में गए और कोई एक विषय हमें पढ़ाना है, उस विषय से संबंधित प्रस्तावना हम लोग छात्रों के सम्मुख रखते हैं और ये जानने की कोशिश करते हैं कि उनका पूर्व ज्ञान कैसा है। अब हमारे सामने ये स्थिति है कि एक श्लोक कालिदास का मुझे कक्षा में पढ़ाना है और बच्चों के सामने प्रस्तावना से उस विषय तक मैं ले आई हूँ। वहां पर एक बच्चा है जो व्याकरण संबंधी जानकारी चाह रहा है, एक बच्चा है जो प्रसंग जानना चाह रहा है, एक बच्चा है जो उसके छंद अलंकार काव्य सौंदर्य को जानना चाह रहा है। तो मेरे पास बहुत सारे विषय उपस्थित हो जाते हैं और उन सभी विषयों को आइडेंटिफाई करके मुझे ये डिसाइड करना होता है कि इस छंद को पढ़ाने का सबसे बेहतर तरीका क्या है। सबसे पहले मैं किस तरह उसको अन्वय में लाकर बच्चों को गद्य फॉर्म में समझाऊं, उसके बाद उसके व्याकरण को समझाऊं, टिप्पणियां समझाऊं, उसके पश्चात उनको उपसर्ग प्रत्यय आदि के भेद बताऊं। तो मुझे अपने प्रोसेस को सीमित करना होगा। दंडान्वय विधि से पढ़ाऊं या खंडान्वय विधि से पढ़ाऊं, वो मुझे आइडेंटिफाई करके और उसका सिलेक्शन करना होगा कि ये विधि आज के पाठ के लिए उपयुक्त होगी।
ओके, थैंक यू डॉक्टर रानी, आपने बता दिया आप संस्कृत की हैं। धन्यवाद। तो आपने दो बात इंफॉर्मेशन हमको बता दी, एक तो डिफरेंस बताया और अपना विषय भी बता दिया आपने। ये आपकी कला है बताने की। धन्यवाद आपका, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। ओके डियर फ्रेंड्स, लेट अस एनी अदर पार्टिसिपेंट लाइक टू गिव मी एग्जांपल टू illustrate the difference between identification and selection?
Sir, please.
Please go ahead. आशा जी, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. अगर मैं रिसर्च के एस्पेक्ट से कहूँ तो मान लीजिए कि हम लोग अगर किसी भी फील्ड में जाते हैं, एज ए बॉटनी के पर्सपेक्टिव कह रही हूँ, कि बॉटनी के किसी भी फील्ड में जाते हैं, हम पहले एक फॉरेस्ट मतलब अगर चूज करते हैं तो जितने एवरीवेयर हर कोई भी मतलब बायोलॉजी के प्रोस्पेक्टिव से अगर हम कहते हैं तो हमें आइडेंटिफाई करना होगा पर प्लांट को कि ये क्या है, कौन सा प्लांट है, इसका नाम क्या है, ये कौन सी चीज है। एंड सिलेक्शन के लिए अगर हम बात करें तो ये प्रोस्पेक्टिव है कि हम लोग कौन सी साइट को सेलेक्ट कर रहे हैं, इस साइट में कितने प्लांट आइडेंटिफाई हम करके उसको बताते हैं कि ये इतने आइडेंटिफिकेशन में। सो थोड़ा सा मैंने इसको आइडेंटिफिकेशन के बेस पे।
नहीं डॉक्टर आशा, आपने सैंपलिंग के बारे में बता दिया।
जी जी।
आप जो बात एग्जाम्पल दी है वो एक्चुअली आइडेंटिफिकेशन और सिलेक्शन में अंतर नहीं बताया है। आपने अनफॉर्चुनेटली आपने सैंपलिंग के बारे में बता दिया, जो मैं नहीं पूछना चाहता। अगर आप कोई एग्जाम्पल दे करके आप आइडेंटिफिकेशन और सिलेक्शन में अंतर बताना चाहते हो तो कर सकते हो। जैसे ढेर सारे प्लांट होते हैं,
जी जी जी।
ये वैरायटी है, तो आप ये देखोगे कौन से प्लांट पे आप काम करना चाहें, आप इस पे ना करें उस पे, तो ऐसे धीरे धीरे करके आप उसको नैरो करती हो। और जब वो इतना नैरो हो जाता है कि फर्दर आप नैरो नहीं कर सकते तो आप सिलेक्ट करती। जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल, because there are many our sisters are there who are attending this particular program, they might be interested in purchasing the sari. I'll take the example of sari. Now, when you go to the vendor normally asks you that will you like to have cotton or silk or some other material? You say, I want silk. Then he asks you, do you want a large print or a small print? You say, I want a small print. Then he asks you, what is the price? You say, more than 10,000. And then he asks you some few more questions and you answer them. Now, if he show you one particular sari, which is okay on all these points which you have said, can you take and come out? Will you purchase and come out?
जी जी। ओके, दिस इज सिलेक्शन।
नहीं, आप मैं पूछ रहा हूं, अगर वो पहली साड़ी आपको दिखाए जो कि स्मॉल प्रिंट की हो, जो 10,000 से ज्यादा हो, वो इस तरह, तो वो आप लेके आ जाएंगे क्या?
नो सर।
हाँ, यही तो मैं पूछना चाहता था आशा जी, अब आप समझ गई हो।
जी जी।
क्यों? आप क्या कहेंगी कि
सर
और दिखाओ,
और दिखाओ।
ठीक है ना?
जी जी
वो आपको दिखाएगा दिखाएगा दिखाएगा, और अगर एक भी साड़ी वहां पे होगी आपके, भैया जरा इसको भी दिखा देना, ऐसा ही करोगी ना?
जी 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 जी।
और फिर उसमें से एक धीरे से आप अलग रख दोगे, फिर वो कहेगा बहन जी कुछ और दिखाऊं, तो आप तो तुली हुई हो साड़ी खरीदने में, तो हाँ भैया और दिखा दो। उसमें से भी आप एक रख ली, तो ऐसे दो तीन साड़ी में से फिर क्या करती हो, फिर एक लेती हो, ये सिलेक्शन हुआ।
ओके।
तो जब बहुत ब्रॉड होता है तो वेगनेस ज्यादा होती है, उसमें सिलेक्ट आप नहीं कर पाते। जब वो नैरो हो जाती है तो वो बहुत काफी क्लियर हो जाता है और हम उसको सिलेक्ट कर पाते हैं। तो जब ब्रॉड हो, हेट्रोजीनियस सिचुएशन हो, तो इट विल बी आइडेंटिफिकेशन, एंड व्हेन इट बिकम्स रिलेटिवली होमोजीनियस देन इट इज कॉल्ड सिलेक्शन। अंधेरी रात में अगर हमको अपना रास्ता देखना तो कैसे देखेंगे? हम अपने ब्रॉड को ऐसे करेंगे, विजन को ऐसे करेंगे या ऐसे करेंगे? नैरो करेंगे या ब्रॉड करेंगे? नैरो करेंगे, नहीं पैरेलल नहीं, नैरो।
नैरो करेंगे।
नैरो करेंगे, जितना नैरो होगा उतनी यस उतनी ही क्लैरिटी ज्यादा होगी। So we always start from broad and slowly we narrow it down. And when it becomes so narrow that further narrowness is not possible, then we select. So therefore selection is a part of identification. Suppose I have Hindi as a subject, I have economics,
थैंक यू सर।
I have statistics.
सर एक रिक्वेस्ट थी, ये
बोलिए भैया।
असेसमेंट फॉर लर्निंग जो है उसके अंतर्गत तो जो हो जाएगा ना आइडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ प्रॉब्लम,
नहीं, असेसमेंट अलग होता है भैया। आप इन ज्यादा ये अलग टेक्निकल वर्ड करके आप फंस जाओगे।
जी जी
असेसमेंट बिल्कुल अलग होता है, इवैल्यूएशन बिल्कुल अलग होता है,
जी जी
मेजरमेंट बिल्कुल अलग होता है। ये
हम्म
तीनों टेक्निकल बातें हैं।
जी जी
तो अपन ये असेसमेंट के चक्कर में ना आए,
जी
है ना।
यस
तो
सर यस सर
ये स्टैटिस्टिक्स है, ये एजुकेशन है, ये मैनेजमेंट है, ये जूलॉजी है, यहाँ पे ये संस्कृत है, कंप्यूटर साइंस है, इंग्लिश है। नाउ देयर आर मेनी सब्जेक्ट्स लाइक दिस। आपका ज्योग्राफी है, आपका फिजिकल एजुकेशन है, so there are different subjects, so it is a heterogeneous situation. If I have my master's degree in, say, for example, education, then I select education, I take out education, and when I'm taking out the education, then I'm narrowing it down. Now, in education, there are many aspects of the education. Say, one can be history of education, economics of education, the philosophy of education, the sociology of education, education technology. Then here you have science education, you have guidance and counseling, so like this, there are various areas in education. Suppose you are interested in conducting some research related to the educational technology, so you pick it up and you further narrow it down. Now, in educational technology, again, there are different areas or aspects. One is called micro teaching, another is called models of teaching, then another is called systems approach, another is called programmed learning, another is called distance education, etc., etc. Now, if I am interested in conducting some research related to the micro teaching, then I take it out and I further narrow it down. Now, in micro teaching, there are different skills. So we call it skill of writing on board, skill of stimulus variation, skill of explanation, skill of probing questioning, skill of questioning. Like this, there are many skills are there. If I'm interested in doing some sort of research on skill of explanation, so I take the skill of explanation and suppose I'm teaching hypothesis. So while teaching hypothesis, I will be using the skill of explanation and I will go ahead with my research. So this is how I started from the broad one, and then slowly I narrow it down. And when it became so narrow that further narrowness is not possible, then I selected. So selection is a part of identification. Now, any question, any participant like to ask, then I proceed further. Any question, any part? Go ahead.
It is very clear, sir. You may proceed further. Very clear.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now, next my general word is problem. Can you tell me what can be the technical word for problem? What can be the technical word for problem?
The topic of research.
Sorry, no, that's not the one. Any other one?
Sir, variable.
Variance.
Yet, Dr. Pranita has given it correctly. It is the variable. So, variable is the technical word for the problem. Now, the question is that whenever any researcher is interested in doing the research, he or she must select the variable. Now, in one research, how many minimum, or in one research, what should be the minimum number of variable or variables? In one research, what should be the minimum number of variable or variables?
So one minimum number, maybe, sir.
How many?
So minimum 3 and above.
Minimum 3. All right. Any other one?
Sir, I think
Minimum one,
it
sir.
depends on
Minimum
our
Would be 2.
type
Minimum
of
2.
research. It depends on
All right.
type of research.
Constant and dependent variables.
Okay.
Minimum 2.
Sir, I think it depends.
No, Kusum, go ahead.
Sir, I also think like it depends on the type of research.
Saying any type of research you do, if you have to do a research, type will come later on, then how many variable or variables should you have?
At least one, sir. At least one.
That's
Minimum.
right.
Minimum
No,
2.
it should be only one, because without variable, research is not possible.
Sir,
That
only
is
one.
important. Kusum, go ahead.
Sir, only one variable is required.
Yes, I will give you hundreds of examples where you have to have one variable minimum if you want to do a research.
Okay, sir.
And in experimental research, you do have two variables. But if I'm not interested in experimental research, I'm interested in philosophical, I'm interested in qualitative research, then I cannot have two variables. So minimum one variable must be there. But if you want, you can have more than one. But minimum requirement is one. Okay, that is the answer. If you want to have more than one, that's your choice. Once you have selected the variable, then you should be able to write title. There is a title of a book, there is a title of a research paper, and there is a title of research. All these three titles differ among themselves. The book title is short, just one word, but it's a very heavy word, like mathematics. Lot of examples, lot of information is there in mathematics. Hindi, lot of information in Hindi. So one word will be the book. And book, maximum, how many words, a title have you seen of a book? Maximum number of title. Have you seen a title with the 10 words? A book title with 10 words? No, you have not seen. Correct. So
No.
how many? How many? Maximum. Just think.
5.
Yes. So it will be 4 or 5. You cannot have more than that. But if you see the research or the paper title, will it be of 5 words or more than that?
More than that.
So
It is very
therefore,
elaborated.
so therefore, you should know whether title of research be broad versus narrow versus specific. What do you think? Should the title be broad, narrow, or specific?
Sir, specific.
Okay. Keep your answer with you, and I'm sure you will change it. So keep it. Now, when you read the title, then many times you think the title is appropriate. But many a times you think, no, the title is not appropriate. Why? When you think the title is appropriate, then that means whatever information should be given in the title, those informations are given in the title. But whenever you say that, no, it is not all right, that means whatever required titles are there, those informations are not there in that title. So we must know which information be given in the title. Another is, can title start with word to?
No.
And I will show you many titles from different universities, and it is a PhD title, and degree has been awarded, and the title started with the word to. I'll show you plenty. I have some 15 example or so, but I can give you many. So this is one important, that a title cannot start with the word to. Why? Your answer is correct, but why? Why title cannot start with the word to? Okay, think about it. Can you have a full stop in the title?
No.
Very good. Why?
Full stop indicate that it is the end. So the title should not contain the end because it is the beginning, I think.
No, I don't think that is the answer. Think about it. When you write, do you put a full stop?
Yes,
Yes or
after
no?
completion of statement.
That's right. No, not statement.
Sentence.
That's right. That is the correct one.
Yes,
Dr.
sentence.
Rani, that is the correct. Whenever a sentence is there and each sentence at the end has to have a full stop. Now, title is not a sentence, so you cannot put a full stop. And I have seen plenty of people putting the full stop. They put the full stop even in the table title. Research title, table title, that is technically incorrect. Now, once you understand about the title, then you should write objective. In one research, minimum how many objective or objectives should be there?
Mainly one objective, sir.
Minimum one. And maximum?
Mainly one.
Not mainly. No, that's not all right.
Sir, 3 to 4.
Maximum. What can be the maximum number of objective you have come across?
Sir, in my
5. Sir, 5. 7, 8, sir.
Okay. I will give you the name of the university and the name of the researcher. He has 200 objectives. Please understand. I came across, and all these are in the Shodh Ganga. I got this only through Shodh Ganga when I was going through. I came across another research where 100 objectives were there. Another research where 45 objectives were there. Otherwise, most of the researches have some 10, 15, 20, 25 like that. So that means number of objectives will depend upon the choice of the researcher. If you want to cover wider area or you want to go deep into it, then number of objectives have to be accordingly increased. So you cannot have only the one objective, so there will be more than one objective, at least at a PhD level. Now, there was a time when people were writing objective as a heading, and now people have started writing research question. Now, I have seen many of the theses where the researcher has written only objectives. I have come across some other researches where the researcher has written 2 research questions and he has written 10 objectives. I have come across another situation where a researcher has written 10 research questions and 10 objectives. Now you tell me that if you have 2 research questions and 10 objectives, will you proceed further according to research question or according to objective? What do you think?
Sir, according to research question, we will proceed.
Then why did you write objectives?
To justify our research question.
No, my dear lady, justification is not in the objective. Justification is in the rationale.
Okay.
Objective is not justification. That's wrong. And in all these researches where they have written research question as well as objectives, they did not proceed according to the research question, they proceeded according to the objectives. In fact, in the, the performa available on the UGC website, if you have to send the proposal for minor research project or major research project, in the performa, they have these 2 objectives / research question. Once you say slash, that means either you write objectives or you write research questions. There was a time when in India, no one was writing research question, everybody was writing objectives. But outside India, they were not writing objective, they were writing research questions. So maybe some Indians have traveled outside and they might have seen that they are writing research question. Then they might have propagated after coming, oh, we are writing objective, they are writing research question, so we should also write research question. That is, see, if we have to copy, we must use our thinking and then we copy it. So that is, and it is because of this, the quality of research in India is going back to worse. Back to worse. You know that even our president, he did talk about the poor quality of research. The present UGC director Kumar, he also talked about the quality of research. He said that 99% of the researches uploaded in Shodh Ganga are substandard. I heard him saying that. Now, if it is substandard, what is he doing? Why can't he reverse this particular trend and see that the quality of research improves? There is not even single university from India, IIT, IIM, IISc, which are in first 100. We are not in the first 100. So dear friends, it depends upon you whether you still want to go ahead under the heading of research and you keep on producing the useless paper, useless researches whose findings are of no use. Well, that depends upon you. So therefore, either you write objectives or you write research question. You should not write both. Even in ICSSR, I saw their pro forma, they have written research question / hypothesis. Now, research question is a question and hypothesis is a tentative solution. So how can you say research question / hypothesis? If they have written research question or hypothesis, then it is different. Because then it is your choice whether you want to write the research question or you want to talk about the hypothesis. So there also it is very wrong. So when you are writing your objective, you should know, should they be broad versus narrow versus pinpointed. So what do you think? Should your objectives or research question be broad, narrow, or pinpointed? What do you think?
Research question should be pinpointed, sir.
And objective?
Objective should be broad.
No, not at all.
Pinpointed, that also.
They have to be pinpointed. If they are broad, it's of no use. Then you do not know your path.
Okay.
And that is why most of the researchers, they do not know how to analyze their data because their objectives are very, very broad.
Okay.
Anyway, now for one particular title, how many objectives can you write?
Sir,
How many objectives can you write?
yes.
How many? How many objectives will you like to write? If you write 5 objectives, then can your title be specific? Can title be specific?
No, sir.
It cannot be specific. So your title must be what?
Specific.
No. If your
Pinpoint.
title,
Pinpoint.
if your title is specific, then you cannot write more than one objective.
One objective. Yes, definitely.
If you are writing more than one, then should your title be narrow or specific?
Narrow.
It has to be narrow. So the answer given by you was wrong. Is it correct?
Yes.
Have you got the logic?
Yes.
And that is why the title of your book is very broad. That is why you can write 20 chapters, 15 chapters, 18 chapters. Okay, now you tell me under step number 1. So either you can write sentence, form, or you can write question. So your objective, you can write in the sentence form, or research question, you can write in the question form, but do not write both. Now, I'm asking one simple question, that under identification of problem, should you first select the variable, then think of the title, and then think of the objectives? Or should you first think of the objectives, and then you think of the variable, and you think of the title? Or should you first think of the title, then think of the variable, and then think of the objective? So what should the sequence amongst variable, title, and objective? Can any one of you tell me?
So first
variable,
Go ahead.
then after that, sir, objectives, then title.
Excellent. Any other?
Sir, objective, then variable, then title.
Okay. Any other?
Sir, I think title, variable, and then objectives.
Title,
Very good.
objective, and then variables.
Excellent. Fantastic. Any other? Any other participant like to give the wrong answer? All these are wrong answers. My dear friend, can you write, do you think your variable must be part and parcel of your title or not?
Yes, it should be.
If it is, then you have to select the variable. Because without selecting the variable, you cannot proceed further. Now you tell me, should your title be specific or your title is narrow?
So it should be narrow.
It is narrow. And do you think your objective is pinpointed or narrow?
Objective should be pinpointed.
It is pinpointed. So from one particular title, how many objectives can you write?
So from 8 to 10.
As many objectives as you like. So it is the objective which will give you what should be your next step. So the logical sequence is variable, then title, then objectives. Because without selecting the variable, you cannot think of the title. And your title has to be narrow. All your objectives must be related to your title. So the sequence is variable, title, and objective. Now you tell me, should I tell you the steps first, or should I tell you the detail of the first step?
So first the steps, then after the detail, then after that the details.
So I should tell you all the steps first?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All the steps first.
सोच लो, फिर
Yes,
आपको
sir.
ज्यादा डिटेल नहीं मिलेगी. चलिए, I have no problem. If you want the step first, I can go ahead with the step first. There is only one participant. He says details of the first step. Anyway, we go ahead. Now the second step is the formulation of hypothesis. Let me tell you what is a hypothesis. Can any one of you tell me what is a hypothesis?
Sir, possible solution.
Okay. Any other one?
Assumptions about our variables. Tentative
No,
assumptions.
my dear, no, my dear friend, no. No, assumptions cannot be tested. And in many Indian writers have given in hypothesis assumptions that is technically incorrect. Assumptions cannot be tested and hypothesis has to be tested. So the definition of hypothesis are something like this. No, it's not primary idea. So hypothesis is the tentative solution of the problem. So it is not the final solution, it is the tentative solution. Another definition is hypothesis is the intelligent guess about solution of the problem. Hypothesis is the intelligent guess.
Sir, my question is,
Go ahead.
if it is about if it is prediction or a guess, then why it has to be solution? I mean, like, can't we do away with the word solution?
I'm coming. Hold on. I'm coming. Now, hypothesis is the conjectural statement about the relationship between variables. I'll give you I explain you and give you the logic. Say, suppose you are 3 people at home and all 3 of you go to your place of work. Now, suppose you come home and you find there is no lock on the door. What comes to your mind? What comes to the mind?
There are 2, 3 possibilities. One is that I may assume that somebody has barged in my house, or somebody has stealthily sneaked into my house, or
What else?
or maybe I may have forgotten to lock it, which I did not remember.
Any other one?
Or maybe there is a possibility that
one of the family member might have come before you.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was trying to come to that.
I know. That is why I articulate. That is tentative solution. Now, you open and you go inside and you find everything is as it is. Then which option goes out?
But sir, my question was that, why do we call it solution if it is all about conjecture?
अरे भैया, अरे सुनो तो सही ना.
Yeah.
Just try to understand. Why it is a tentative solution, I'm telling you. Now, these were the tentative solution of this particular problem.
Right, sir.
In this situation, there cannot be the fourth solution. Now, many a times when we go to the doctor on the basis of his experience and his qualification, he checks and he tells to the patient that most probably you are suffering from this particular problem. Have you come across such type of statement from the doctor? Please go ahead, the person who was talking to me.
Yes, sir.
Now, then he asks you that, okay, you start taking this medicine, but go to pathology lab and get your blood test done. Why he wants the blood test?
As per his assumption, he may not be sure about.
No, not assumption. Please do not use assumption. Assumption is a word which is not to be used in hypothesis.
No, I understand. Yeah, you are absolutely correct.
So assumption is not, assumptions cannot be tested. Say if you have casted your vote, then the assumption is you are a Indian citizen, number one, and you have your name in the list of that particular say booth where you have casted your. These are the assumptions. Okay, anyway, so therefore it is tentative till it gets tested. Because without going into the room, the person will not be able to decide that out of these three, which one is there. So once he goes inside, then he sees everything is fine, no tampering, nothing of that type. That means theft has not taken place. And now meanwhile, his brother came and he said, I came before you today. So therefore now, why there was a no lock? Because his brother had come before him and he opened the lock. So that is the solution of this particular one. But without these information, it was not possible. So that is a tentative. If you want to be final, it has to be tested. And it is an intelligent guess. It's not the guess. Any one of you know the difference between guess and intelligent guess? क्या डिफरेंस है डॉक्टर सैनी डॉक्टर कैलाश सैनी प्लीज विल यू लाइक टू हेल्प अस टू नो द डिफरेंस बिटवीन इंटेलिजेंट गेस एंड गेस
यस सर
बोलिए
हाँ सर यस यस
बताइए
Sir,
गैस में और इंटेलिजेंट गैस में क्या डिफरेंस है
guess is basically is random to my understanding, but an intelligent guess is always about rationality that it involves, like some sort of a reasoned argument that would be coming from me.
Correct. That means, see, during our examination time when you were the student, I was also the student. When the exam used to be near, then we used to take for the last 5-6 years question paper and used to analyze and used to think from which unit, which portion of the unit a question is likely to come. So this was possible because the last 4-5 years question paper were available. If they were not available, then it was not possible. So when we say guess, it is a wild guess. But when we say intelligent guess, means there is a rational, as you have said. That's perfectly correct. So therefore, in research, if there is a hypothesis, we have to test it. And if we want to test, we have to use statistical technique. And if we want to use statistical technique, we must have quantitative data. So if we have quantitative data, then we can analyze it with the help of a statistical technique. Then we can test the hypothesis. And we must formulate the hypothesis. I repeat, if we have quantitative data in our research, then this can be analyzed with the help of a statistical technique. And then we can test the hypothesis, and then we must formulate the hypothesis. So formulation of hypothesis will be there only and only if we have the quantitative data. If we have qualitative data, which cannot be analyzed with the help of statistical technique, then we cannot test the hypothesis and we should not formulate the hypothesis. I repeat, if we have qualitative data which cannot be analyzed with the help of a statistical technique, then we cannot test the hypothesis and we should not formulate the hypothesis. So formulation of hypothesis will not be the step in qualitative research. It will not be the step in philosophical research, in historical research, in descriptive survey research, and in case study research. But formulation of hypothesis will be the step in correlational survey and experimental research. So therefore, this step will not come in each and every subject. In Hindi, it will not be there. Hindi, English, Sanskrit, history, political science, etc., where you have pure qualitative information. If you are doing theoretical research, you can't have hypothesis. So therefore, hypothesis cannot be the step of research. Formulation of hypothesis it cannot be step of research in qualitative, it cannot be the step in qualitative research. It cannot be the step in philosophical research. In historical research. In descriptive survey research. And case study research.
So in these cases, we will have a different set of instructions for researching, sir.
No, I will tell you that.
Right.
So in these researches, you cannot have. Now, it will be the step in correlational survey and experimental research. So this has to be very, very clear. And in some of the researches, I found that the guide is saying that because you are doing a qualitative research, so you write research question. That is wrong. Because a research question cannot replace hypothesis? Absolutely no. So in the formulation of hypothesis, I have given you the definition. And then because it is a tentative solution or intelligent guess, if it is an intelligent guess, then there must be basis. Basis of formulating hypothesis. You cannot formulate hypothesis at random and it's not your sweet will. No, there has to be base. Then there are types of hypothesis. Can any one of you tell me what are the different types of hypothesis that you know?
Null hypothesis.
Null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis.
Okay, any other answer?
Positive hypothesis and negative hypothesis, sir.
Fantastic. Any other answer?
Sir, assertive and primitive
hypothesis.
No, my dear friend, all these are wrong answers. There is nothing like
Directional and
positive
non-directional.
hypothesis. There is nothing like negative hypothesis.
Directional
These
and
are wrong.
non-directional.
No. The directional and null are the forms. These are not the types. And the books which you are reading, they are giving the wrong information. I'm sorry to say. The types of hypotheses are
Sir,
these.
research
One is
hypothesis,
called...
statistical hypothesis, or operational hypothesis?
Correct. That is the correct one. So research hypothesis. Another is a statistical hypothesis. And another is called operational hypothesis. It is the sweet will of the researcher whether she wants to formulate research hypothesis or statistical or operational. But understand, all statistical techniques have been developed by statisticians for testing directly the statistical hypothesis. The statistical techniques cannot test your research hypothesis directly. So it is the statistical hypothesis that has to be tested. That is what is important. But if you have formulated the research hypothesis, you have to first test your statistical and then your research. I will tell you that. So I'll tell you the difference also, nothing to worry about it. Now then the forms. There are two forms. One is called null form and another is called directional form, or you can say alternative form. Now, it is not your choice whether you should have null form or directional form. There is a base. So here is the basis. So it is, this will help you to decide whether it should be null form or the directional form. Then you must know the wording of the hypothesis. Now, when you word the hypothesis, you must know the tense. Now, when you are formulating hypothesis, in which tense should you formulate? Is it present, past, or future? Which tense? Is it present tense, past tense, or future tense?
Sir, I think it should be in present.
Yes, Your answer is absolutely correct. Reason I will ask you later on, but that is correct. It has to be in the present tense. So whether you formulate hypothesis in your research proposal or in your thesis, it does not make a difference, but it has to be in the present tense. Now, once you have that, and when you are writing the hypothesis, you have to use the word significant. If you have not used the word significant, then technically your hypothesis is not all right. Then, because it is a tentative solution, so you have to test it. So you must know the testing. And when you test it, you must know the degree of freedom. You must know the concept of the degree of freedom, and you must know the concept of level of significance. Now, I don't know whether you people know these concepts or not. And then you must know one-tailed test and two-tailed test. So you must know when to use one-tail test and when to use the two-tail test. I will explain you. And then you should know the type 1 error, or it is called alpha error, and type 2 error and beta error. So this much you should understand under the second step, and that is formulation of hypothesis. Now, the third step will be the data collection. Now, when you want to collect the data, you must know from where to collect the data. Many people will collect the data by using the primary source. If someone is working on Mahadevi Verma, or someone is working on the Mahatma Gandhi educational philosophy, or someone is working on the concept of values as given by Vivekananda, in all these you have to use the primary source. And primary source means you have to go to libraries and you will get it. In the historical research, you can use primary source or the secondary source. But if you want to do the survey research or experimental research or case study research, you have to collect the data from the field. And if you want to collect the data from the field, then you must know about sampling. You must know about the tool or instrument. And then you must know about method of research. Now, these are the three important aspects which you must be clear. Otherwise, you cannot collect the data from the field. Because these are the three sources from where you can have the data, either from the primary source or the secondary source or from the field. The field can be your hospital, the field can be your market, the field can be your schools, the field can be your families, the field can be anything, no problem at all. So I will explain you the detail of the sampling tomorrow, and the tool and method of research, and then we proceed further. So any question you want to ask before I say bye-bye to you? Any question you want to ask?
Sir, I want to ask a question.
Go ahead, Kusum.
Sir, there was a teacher who told me that it is important that we should start hypothesis with the word that. Is it compulsory?
No. I know in psychology this is the problem. No, it cannot start with. I will tell you when we come to the hypothesis, you yourself will understand which is the appropriate way of formulating the hypothesis. We'll come to that.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Sir.
When I see that, take the detail and then we'll do it. Okay.
Sir,
Any other question?
Sir, I have one question. This is Dr.
Go ahead.
Sir, if you can explain degree of freedom and how to.
Not right now. Not right now, madam.
Maybe tomorrow.
No, not tomorrow. If we come to that particular topic, then I will explain. Otherwise, will be difficult.
Acha, okay.
I can explain, no problem, but you may not be able to understand in the context.
Sir, actually.
But I hope I will be able to do that. Nothing to worry about it.
Yes, sir. Actually, I want to know how to read the data or stat.
I will tell you. I'll tell you all that.
Okay,
Nothing to worry about.
Thank you, sir.
I will also tell you whether degree of freedom can be in fraction or not.
Yes, sir. Okay.
I'm sure your teacher may not be able to tell you, but I will be able to tell you, and I will give you the formula also, which is used for computing the degree of freedom.
Okay, sir.
All right. So thank you very much. See you tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.